Hey everybody, as you guys know, it's been a rough few months for music fans. We've lost a lot of people, like Little Richard, Bill Withers, Kenny Rogers, John Prine, Neil Peart, just too many. And now, unfortunately, we had one more to that list. Unfortunately, of course, as you guys know, we lost Bob Kulick this week. Bob Kulick was most known as a session guitarist. He worked for a lot of bands, most notably Kiss. He did a lot of work with Kiss. Of course, I'm a huge Kiss fan. If you followed this channel, you'll probably know that. But he worked with many other bands as well. His tenure with Kiss began when he actually auditioned to join the band when they first got started. In 1972, he was one of the guitarists they initially auditioned. They didn't give him the part, though. That went to Ace Frehley, who may not have been as technically gifted a guitar player, but just sort of had that right swagger, that right style for the band, and he was who they wound up going with, but they didn't forget about Bob Kulick by any means. He wound up playing guitar on the studio side of Kiss Alive 2, which is an album, of course, where the first three sides of it are live recordings, and then side 4 had 5, at the time, new songs. Ace Frehley played guitar on Rocket Ride, and it was Bob Kulick on the other 4 tunes there. And then he went on to do all of the lead guitar work on Paul Stanley's excellent solo album. Paul Stanley's album is actually my favorite of the 4 Kiss solo albums. He does guitar work on Naked City from the album Unmasked. I believe he has a songwriting credit on that song. Let me check here. Naked City. Gene Simmons, Pepe Castro, Vinnie Poncia, and Robert Kulick. So yes, he does get a songwriting mention there. He then did pretty much all of the lead guitar work for the 4 new songs on the Kiss album Killers. Ace Frehley wasn't actually involved in the making of that album at all, and he also wasn't involved in the making of Creatures of the Night. Most of the session work on Creatures of the Night is done by Vinnie Vincent, but Bob Kulick's in there as well, playing some tunes. Bob Kulick also played, like I said, on albums by many other artists. He even played on Diana Ross's Why Do Fools Fall in Love album. I just found that out when I was doing research on him. And there he is in the rhythm guitar credits. I have no idea if you guys will be able to see that or not. He was also in Meatloaf's touring band, which was called the Neverland Express. He joined the band for the Bat Out of Hell tour. He didn't play on that album, but he did play on the tour, I believe, alongside his brother Bruce. I believe they were both guitarists on that tour. And then Bob Kulick wound up playing in that Neverland Express band until, I want to say, the mid to late 80s. And then he joined Paul Stanley on his solo tour in 1989 as well. And you know what? Oddly enough, even though Bob Kulick had auditioned for Kiss in the very early days, didn't get the part, and then wound up doing a lot of session work for them, when Kiss was looking for a replacement for Mark St. John, who was unable to play live due to a hand condition in 1984, they actually wound up going with Bob Kulick's brother, Bruce. And then Bruce Kulick was a member of Kiss for the next 12 years. So much talent in the Kulick family. Bruce Kulick did an excellent job as Kiss's lead guitar player. And then a couple times in the last few years, I know that Bob Kulick and Bruce Kulick would share the stage together and perform, medleys of classic Kiss tunes that one or either of them had played on. In the 90s, Bob Kulick kept up the studio work. He wound up working with the band Wasp. He didn't join them as a full-time lead guitarist, but he did play on 2 of their albums. After that, in the 2000s, he worked with Motorhead, produced a few songs for them, and he actually got into the business of making sort of tribute albums. So he'd do like a heavy metal tribute album to the Beatles. He did a heavy metal tribute album to Frank Sinatra, and a few other things like that, which were kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, Bob and Bruce Kulick performed together 2 or 3 years ago on the Kiss Cruise annual event together. Did a set together there. And word had gotten out in the last few months that the Kulick brothers were not getting along so much and there were feuds and stuff. And then now this week, all of a sudden, none of that matters at all because suddenly Bob Kulick is gone at the age of 70. It was a shock to myself, many other Kiss fans, and many other just music fans. No one really expected this. So yeah, my heart goes out to the Kulick family, and yeah, to Bob's friends and family. It's difficult. It's a tough time for everybody, and I don't know what can you say, but his music lives on. Maybe I'll give Paul Stanley's solo album a spin today. He does some excellent guitar work on there. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll come up with a new vlog again in the next couple of days, and I'll catch you again real soon.